week-long trip in South Africa, the Highlanders come back today to the Forsyth Bar Stadium, which will be the venue for their final pre-season match, and they have brought a friend along with them from the Republic. That'll be the Sharks, and that is today's matchup. Hello everyone and welcome along to Cornflakes Crib, your home of Rugby Challenge 2, and of course the Highlanders career, where we have our final look at a 15 due for selection, with the season starting just next week. A few days away, in fact, is round number 1. But first we need to look at today's match, where we have got a bit of a fringe selection squad. Some players who have yet to impress in the team and are looking to stake their claim against more fancied players in their position. So we'll quickly run through who we've got in the team today, with Kitchov and Diaz. The South African and Argentinian will be propping the scrum. Of course, they have stiff competition with the likes of Afoa, Heyman, Tamiafuna and Reg Goods as well, going for those positions. At the moment, it has to be a toss-up with Heyman, Afoa, and the two playing today as to who will start in round 1. So remember, that is your choices, who we're going to see in round number 1. Players you think have impressed you, well, feel free to submit them for round number 1 match. In number 2 jersey, the Hookers, we have Mitchell starting today's game, but he's still pushing hard to get past Coltman, who is front runner at this stage to start in the number 2 jersey. In the locks, the second row will be Thorne and Bekua starting today's match, but of course there's not too much competition for them, with only Retallick, who's likely to start as well, alongside Frenchman Baha Mahina. As well as that, they've got the flankers to contend with players like Boys, Hardy and Dixon for a lesser extent, all capable of playing in the second row. But that sets us up nicely for the back row of the scrum, where we have Matera, Hardy and Evans, who will be playing out today's game. Of course, the competition for them is very stiff. Matera playing in the 6 jersey today, would normally be in the 7. Rob Shaw not playing in this match, but some backup depth in those positions is vital. Other players to keep in mind are, of course, Dixon, Manu, of course, TJ Ioane, and of course the captain, English captain, Rob Shaw, as well as Boys as well, who's not in today's squad. So definite depth throughout that back row of the scrum. Halfback today is Aaron Smith, and really all that he's got to contend with is Francois Hogard, and that's going to be an epic battle. Who's going to start with that number 9 jersey? Ohio West starts at number 10, and he's got stiff competition as well. Sexton is always the front runner for this team to start in the number 10 jersey. West is the closest competition he's got to come, and it's a chance here for West to really push for that jersey come round 1. The centres see Francis Saeli, who was less than impressive in his 1 match so far, come up against, or with, Ben Smith playing outside centre. There's big time talent in the centres, with players like Fofana, Emery, Ranger and Fonatia still in the background, still on the bench, not even in the squad today. So that is definite needed performance here from Saeli. Hogard and Van der Merwe will start on the wings, where there's also lots of competition for those places, with Stowers, who is starting at fullback today, to see how adept he is at playing at the back. But when you have the likes of Spate, Robertson, Ben Smith, who's in centre today, Tuatafaki, who we saw last week, and of course Gillies Kaka, the back 3 is an excitement machine. The Sharks, well, they're one side who hasn't dabbled too much in the transfer market, choosing to go with their players from the Currie Cup, as did the Bulls from last week, and they've brought up a lot of talent from those positions. They've also recruited a couple of backup players in their substitutes bench, with the likes of Joe Wheeler and Robbie Melnick coming in to bolster their team. But as usual, it's a good looking Sharks team, and going by the stats, going by the ratings, these guys are going to be one of the front runners throughout the season. We look set to get underway. It's going to be Francois Steyn who will kick us off. Forsyth Bar Stadium. Final warm-up match for these two teams, and it is underway. It is just a few days before the Super 15 will be kicking off, and it is Mitchell who takes down the ball. Release. And the Highlanders at home, looking to make up for that loss last week. If you missed it, going down to the Bulls. Not how they wanted to get that match away in South Africa, as the Sharks have a turnover. And straight away through Daniel,
Release.
They're bumping off a lot of tackles from the Highlanders players. Let's see who will perform. We saw last week, Tanaka was tenacious in defence, and Aaron Smith starting off and creating a turnover. Here we go out wide to Hoggard. What's he got in store for us? He is a silky smooth player. He chips ahead, and it will be Sharks who deal with it, and Francois Steyn thumps it downfield. Here's another interesting one. It's going to be Stowers. Sherwin Stowers from fullback. A brilliant run on the counter-attack, getting the Highlanders up to the 10-metre line. Saili needs to impress as he goes away to Hoggard again. Hoggard's trying to step, and he's smashed into touch. Well, we've seen a couple of chances for Hoggard already in this match. He hasn't done himself any wonders yet, but he's such a talented player. He has to be somewhere in that 15 for the round 1 fixture, as Bismarck du Plessis thumps it out into the line out, and straight away we kick through Lambie. Down to Stowers again. That's going to be a real interesting talking point. Ben Smith gets the ball from Vandermeer. Ben Smith running away from Steyn. This could be a great start. The Highlanders, it's Steyn and Smith. Steyn and Smith's pace, but it will be Ben Smith. He is super quick, Ben Smith. How about that for a start, Highlanders fans? Spectacular from Ben Smith. Get him in this match more often, and he will prove to be a winner for you. Extreme pace against Francois Steyn, almost surprising me at how easily he got away from him. He turned back to the outside, looked for some support for his left winger, Vandermeer, but that was the man who gave him the pass. Vandermeer was nowhere to be found, and amazingly, Ndingani and Francois Steyn couldn't catch him, which is surprising. Just a touch. Also, another note with Ndingani chasing that Ben Smith break there. He is also the captain for the Sharks today, which is an interesting call. Still a bit surprised Ben Smith managed to scream away from those defenders. No wind here for West. Right out in front, strokes it through, gives the Highlanders a 7-point lead. And a rocking start to this match through Ben Smith. We've seen him play in the centres a bit more frequently, but boy oh boy, he really sparked something there for the Highlanders. Maybe we'll see more of him there. Who knows? That's up to you to decide who's going to be on our team. Starting the match is Matera. Oh, that was brilliantly taken. He's got that away, luckily. Here's West using the numbers to the right. Oh, bad pass from Ben Smith, and Hoggard has to go in. Oh, no. Oh, Francois Hoggard is injured. And the change will come. Looks like he's done his knee. The poorly textured knee at that. And it will be Emery who will come on to replace him. Secondary position of
Crouch.
Of course, the right wing.
Touch. Sit.
So a bit of issues there with Hoggard's skin. Don't know what's going on there, but we'll fix that up for next time. As Aaron Smith puts the scrum in, and it's a good hit. Well, there you go. Kitshoff and Diaz with Mitchell really putting their names forward as Vandermeer gets a good pass from Saili. He needs some support, but a high tackle has come in. Oh, big high tackle from Francois Steyn. And Ndingani rushing up, but the card has been dealt. And, well, no chance to even contest that from Ndingani. And it will be Ihaya West who will thump this one down towards the Sharks 22. And they will be without fullback Francois Steyn, who we know how good a player that man is. It's a line out though. It's going to be Mitchell to throw in. He's got two jumpers in Thorne and Beckwith. He goes to the front of Thorne. Smith looked to go through the gap in the middle. Hardy runs through the middle of the field. Good short ball to Matera. Here's Saili looking to back himself through the middle. Pops a pass out to Emery just on the field. Emery scores for the Highlanders. Oh, and that should have been a try for Hoggard, but no worries for Emery. Another player who was unlucky to miss out today after featuring last week not too well, I might add, but boy oh boy, Saili staking a claim here. Super play, super break, and what a pass to Emery. So this just makes things more difficult for us. What a pass from West, and Matera, he's such a great player. He has to feature next week. But Emery, normally a centre, outside centre, but that was a great little finishing job on the right wing. And I guess with the injury, it makes things a little bit simpler when it comes to picking a halfback for us. Aaron Smith now will be right in the running for that number 9 jersey. Here's West to attempt the goal. Far out on the right-hand side, hits it nicely, but it's going to shave the right hand upright and go narrowly wide. The Highlanders lead just 12-0 now with that conversion missing. And of course, Francois Steyn, the kicker, is off the field, so it's going to be Peterson to dabble his feet at some kicks here. So that goes down to Matera, who's been, he's been outstanding on the kickoffs. And a great pass to West, has spilt the ball, but that was a real chance there. Here we go, there's a big break. And turnover 2 from the Highlanders. Kankowski just got smashed from Aaron Smith and lost the ball, but they have it back just as quickly. Here's Kankowski again, giving it to Daniels. Brilliant run from the big man. It's a bit of a step and a jive from Chadwick. He can't get through the defence. He had numbers 2, which are a bit wasted. Kankowski going, wide. Ben Smith is intercepted. Van der Merwe has to go down and pick up the wobbly old pass. No one at home here for the Highlanders on defence of the ruck. No defending the ball at all, and it's going to be a short side play. The Sharks will pass for Daniels. Daniels is breaking away. He's got a man on the outside. That is a good play from the Sharks. A man down. And they pull a try back. Who was that for? It was Kankowski. I thought it was him, but it just didn't look right as Daniel went through the big gap. It was a great tackle from Stowers. But Kankowski, how many times did he feature in that play? He touched the ball in the past few phases, probably 4, 5, 6 times, and was on the end of that move. Brilliant work from the back rowers. And the try for the Sharks, man down. Ominous signs for the rest of this match for the Highlanders. And of course, with Steyn off the field, now it will be Lambie to take the shot at goal. It's 12-5, a kick from way out on the right hand side, hits it nicely, no wind will affect this. And again, just like West did minutes ago, Lambie has slid that one just on the outside, and now we'll have the man back from the bin. Francois Steyn back onto the field, and the Sharks return to a full complement of 15 players. So this is it for these teams. This is the final preparations heading into the season as West kicks things off. And we're back underway with a 12-5 scorecard as Aaron Smith claims the kickoff, losing the ball in the tackle, but it's picked up from Van der Merwe. And here we go, Mitchell. Diaz got a dodgy ball, and he sent an extra dodgy one out for Detroit, who couldn't help but turn that ball over. Here's Ndingani, captain for the match, trying to blaze his way down this right-hand touchline. Back inside, here's the big man, Kankowski. But he's turned over from Hardy. Hardy running sideways, pops it out for Saili, using the width here to Ben Smith. He's still got that man, Emery, who is outstanding in this match so far, but a good tackle from Whitehead, putting him into touch and sending us to half-time. Disappointing for the Highlanders, not finishing off that play. Ben Smith and Emery looking very industrious on that right-hand side. But we head to the break, into touch, Emery went. A good tackle from Whitehead, who we haven't mentioned all day, and his first real impact on the match. At half-time, we are 12 points to 5. The Highlanders leading the Sharks, who should be front-runners in this competition with such a top-quality side, the Sharks. But today they're trailing, but they have had the best of territory, the Sharks. The Highlanders have possession, but the handling errors may be a bit of an issue for these Highlanders going into the second half. 7-0 is an interesting stat, but one below that is even more with 8-1 line breaks. The Highlanders need to convert some more of them into points. Of course, down the bottom, the high tackle resulting in the yellow card. A bit of a blip on the Sharks' radar, apart from the scoreline, but surely plenty of talent in the Sharks team to bring on a second half comeback. Just one try in it, 7 points. Let's head back down to the action. The players set to go for the second half of this final pre-season match for the Highlanders career versus the Sharks Only days away from the Super 15 kicking off. But we have 40 minutes of action still to go here in this final preseason match. Places up for grabs here in the Highlanders jersey. Who's going to take their chances? Higher West, he's played all right today, but he's got such a mountain to climb to better the likes of Sexton. As Thorne brilliantly takes that ball from the kickoff. That's what you want your big lock to do, but it's intercepted from Lambie, and then a high tackle from the Highlanders player. Who was that number 8? It was Evans. We have not seen much from Evans today, the number 8. And with the likes of Dixon knocking on that number 8 door, he has to be careful here, because Dixon played very well in those 2 matches he featured in. But it's going to be a tough battle for that back row. There's some certain quality and talent in there for sure. But it's the Sharks with Bismarck du Plessis to throw on at the line out, just inside the Highlanders half. On the 10-metre line, they're going to drive it, other Sharks. Nicely pulled in there from Marius. And now the Highlanders turn it. Are they going to go straight out into touch, the Sharks? Oh, not the best play from them there. And the Highlanders escape a bit of a bullet with some indirect play there from the Sharks forwards. The line out again. They go to Thorne at the front. Aaron Smith fires out a bullet to Saili, drawing in the defence brilliantly. Saili doubling around his West. Where's his man on the outside again? Embry. Embry's in a race with Mvovo. Here comes Kinkowski. The race is on, Mvovo and Embry, but it will be Embry. Too fast. And Mvovo can't stop. Embry getting a double. And how annoyed will the man injured on the sideline, Francois Hogard, be right now? The replacement, Jason Emery, taking his chances here. But what a run from West. That was spectacular, doubling around on Saili. And an outstanding finish for Jason Emery, the youngster. Plenty of talent in that man. And that was brilliant. Look at him. He carved up Lambie. That's not an easy thing to do. And then Emery having the pace to get away from Mvovo, which is no mean feat in itself. Kankowski, how fast is he for a number 8? And that gives the Highlanders just a little bit more breathing space here at home in front of their fans, which will be anxious to see how these guys can go when the season starts up. They've showed good form in the preseason, taking out the Reds and Rebels, as the kick from West is very good. Add the 2. And the scoreline reads 19 points to 5. The Highlanders leading the Sharks. I thought the Sharks might put up a bit more of a fight than this. One of the better rated teams in the competition. But it is only preseason. Don't take it all into hand, as Matera has been an absolute menace from the kickoffs for the Highlanders.
Release.
As they get the use of the ball here from the kickoff again. Big man Kitshoff goes wide for Ben Smith. Ben Smith is breaking away again. Can he get away from Stain? He can't. And he's taken down just inside the 10-metre line. They go left now. Kitshoff, poor pass for Saili. Back to Diaz. Big man getting involved. Vandermeer cuts away the other way. Thorne. Everyone's playing the cut here. And eventually Thorne gets dragged down. The Highlanders struggle to keep this ball. And they have lost it. The Sharks quicker into the ruck there. Here's du Plessis, Yanni du Plessis out to Mvovo. Here's Bismarck du Plessis giving a good ball for the Toits. He's breaking away before being eventually caught from Matera. Here's Kankowski going to Mvovo again. 2-man tackle. He gets put to ground. Highlanders too slow to the ruck once more. And McLeod, who hasn't been the quickest man to the rucks, gets a pass away to Whitehead. Whitehead's in trouble here. He needs to release his ball for his players, but no support. And the Highlanders turn it over again. Evans to West. West and Lambie are a big battle here. Saili bumps one man off. Oh, Emery was completely off the ball there. Ahead of Saili, who did a brilliant job to bump off one. Got rid of Mvovo. Couldn't finish the job for the pass. Emery was completely out of position. And there's a line out here for the Sharks. They go to the back nicely. Swing it out straight away to Peterson. Out to Ndengani, captain for this match. What a tackle from Vandermeer. That was an outstanding one-on-one tackle. Here's Kankowski popping it up nicely for Daniel, who has been so impressive with ball in hand. And a penalty to the Highlanders. Not releasing from Daniel. gives a chance for the Highlanders to get down the right end of the field for them. The kick from West is decent enough. Captain Thorne says good job. The youngster in the number 10 jersey is playing very well today as we look to close in on the last 10 minutes of this match. 19-5, the Highlanders lead the Sharks. Again, Thorne, set play from the line out. Saeli in midfield, draws in Peterson, goes wide for Smith. Smith gets taken nicely, beautiful tackle. And down they go, the Highlanders, and Volvo being very good in defence when he's been there. West running the ball nicely. Beautiful pass and the tackle of Detroit. Here's Diaz. Goes to ground. No one at home for the Highlanders, just standing and ball watching. And the Sharks turn it over. How wide they go for Daniels. Emery chasing him down and putting him to the deck, but he gets the pass away. And here's Kankowski. We know what a player he is. Causing trouble all round the rucks for the Highlanders. Is it an advantage for an offside? Here's Duplessis, a high tackle coming from Aaron Smith. And that is some real vicious tackles coming in from the Highlanders halfbacks this season. Tanaka and Smith have really put in some punishing hits. We're inside the last 5 minutes now. It's going to be Stain that taps and goes. Gives it to his big prop, Chadwick. And Chadwick giving it to Duplessis. Two big hard-running players. The Sharks looking to score just one more time. McLeod. Detroit goes wide for Peterson. Here's a chance for them. Good tackle. Going for Ndangani. Back in field. It is going to be Albert. So close to breaking away from everyone. Eventually it comes down. Ndangani. Lambie. Swinging it wide. Big passes. Oh, poor passes. Peterson had to wait for that one. Here's Duplessis combining nicely. Oh, advantage to the Sharks are offside, but that was such a long phase. How is that possible? Neither to worry, it's Marius on the ball now, and it's going to be a penalty. Offside, the Highlanders. Kitchoff, the man, penalised for that. Bit of a tough call there. That phase was very long. But we will play on. The penalty for the Sharks. And Stain will tap it and gives it to Peterson. Defence is nicely spread. Away they go for Ndangani. Cutting it back in field here for Whitehead. And Peterson again. Oh, did the old dodgy passes after the steps, and now they're swinging it wide for Chadwick. Oh, no one home back there for the Sharks, and he's bundled into touch. Looked like Lambie, the man on the end of that wobbly old pass, and the Highlanders show some good grit at home here at Forsyth Bar Stadium, holding out the much more fancied Sharks and getting what would be 4 competition points, which is something we need to look at now, because next up will be round 1. That is going to be exciting times for the Highlanders. They're looking very good this year after the woes of 2013. Putting that behind us and looking ahead, 2014. Well, we've done the pre-season, everything's wrapped up. We'll cover this match and we'll see what's ahead for the Highlanders. This match though, 19-5, the final score. Tries for Ben Smith, which was just a freakish show of speed and in space from Ben Smith, and of course Emery, Jason Emery with a double, giving 3 tries for the Highlanders. Of course, Ohio West getting 2 conversions, rounding out a nice 19 points for the Highlanders. 1 try away though from that bonus point, which will be a big deal going into the season. As for the Sharks, Kankowski with the 1 try, no conversions, but that Kankowski was outstanding. So were much of the Sharks players, especially the back row, Albert, Staniel and Kankowski, were simply outstanding, and they played very well indeed. Not enough on the day though, and the Highlanders dominating possession and nudging our territory from where it was at half time. Both teams got a little bit nasty with a couple of penalties each, and of course the tackles were very, very high. So a lot of running, a lot of tackling, a lot of breakdowns in this match, and both teams getting a good workout heading into the season. So the final preps are done. Teams now look ahead to week 1, and we will check out the squad. A lot of you guys want to see who the squad is, who's in the team, and all that sort of thing. We'll look ahead to round number 1 and see what lays ahead for us. Okay, so the Highlanders are all set and ready to go for round number 1. Remember, if you're impressed with any players that you've seen in these opening 4 matches, leave it in the comments that you think they're worthy of a starting spot in round 1. and they will be very seriously taken into consideration, of course. But this is the squad we have, of course. This first 15 is from the match we just played today against the Sharks in that good 19-5 victory. It seems here Francois Hoggard is not actually injured, well, for longer than that match, so he will be set and fit to play for round 1 if you so see fit. It is a very talented backline, you can see by the ratings that we play in today's game. Of course, the substitutes, who are we going to see? Leave your comments below, and of course this is the full squad going through all 40 players. David Hall at the bottom there. Now, a lot of you are asking about wages, which is fair enough, and how I managed to get such a great team on the wage limit. Yes, the salary cap is on, and as we can see, we're only paying $40,000 for Stephen Kitchoff. But I'm not going to go through every single player. If there's a specific player you want to know how much I'm paying for him, do ask in the comments or ask on Twitter, whatever, and I'll happily tell you. Or if enough of you want to see the wage of the whole team, I can make up a video for you guys just showing the wages, the full squad, and that sort of thing. If you want to see that, again, just let me know. No worries at all. But of course, we are playing big money for big names. Aaron Smith, 170,000. Ahia West, 190. Big time money spent on him. Big names, Francis Saili, 202,000. Just going through a few players. Ben Smith, 271,000. That is a massive tongue twister. And of course, Francois Hoggard, another big name, 247. So there, that is a little insight. Afoa, 131, very popular player. But that is it. Next week, round 2, effectively it is, because of course Australia play round 1 all by themselves. So this is the Highlanders round number 1 match, and it is against the Blues at home at Forsyth Bar Stadium. Competition info, if you want to have a look at schedule. Round number 1 is against the Blues. Then we have the Waratahs, the Chiefs and the Crusaders rounding out March. Then of course on to the Sharks, they're home again. The Force, the Blues and the Brumbies to round out April. The Lions, who else, are coming to Forsyth Bar Stadium in May, or the 2nd of May, followed by the Stormers, the Cheetahs, the Hurricanes. Then in June, of course, we have the Internationals, which means only one match for June against the Reds. Rounded out the end of the season with the Hurricanes, the Crusaders and the Chiefs. So keep that in mind, that is our fixtures list for the season. Of course, any ideas, input to the squad is always very welcome, and I'll take that into consideration for the team each week. So don't just do it for week 1. If you want to see a certain player in the next week, whatever, leave in the comments and you'll see him on the field. So thank you all for watching. That wraps us up for the pre-season of the Highlanders. We'll be back soon with round number 1 against the Blues at Forsyth Bar Stadium. Stay tuned for that. Remember to submit your ideas of who you want to see in the squad, and that will be very awesome. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the pre-season for the Highlanders and all the awesome players that you guys mostly picked. And I'll see you next time for round 1. Until then, as always, take care.